Today on Bloodbath and Beyond, we watch See No Evil, find out if Kane makes the serial killer cut.
This movie is about a group of delinquents who are sent to a rundown hotel to clean it up so they can start sheltering the homeless people. Unfortunately, a crazy lunatic murderer is stored away somewhere in the hotel and starts killing them one by one.
That crazy lunatic is Kane.
Or Glenn Jacobs. So, what do we like about this movie, guys?
I liked Kane. I thought he was an excellent serial killer. He was tall, monstrous, he had the look, he had the walk, he just had the mannerisms. He was the part.
And the way that they lit him was wicked too, because they were in the hotel. There's a lot of like spotlights above his head, and because he's got this massive brow, it casts like some heavy shadows on his face, and he just looks like a fucking monster.
What I also liked about his character was his facial expressions. You also get that warm feeling throughout the movie, like you feel sympathy for him. Like he can change his emotion from angry to sadistic to crazy to sorrow.
I liked that for a WWE film, they didn't really hold back. Like there was lots of swearing, there was lots of gore that was really done well, and they had not nudity, but we did get to see the backside of a lady in a shower. It didn't feel like I was watching a movie made for the WWE audience, even though it starred Kane and it had a big WWE logo at the beginning.
Yeah. Especially like their first go at it. They didn't shy away from like ripping out the eyes, and like the shot at the very beginning where they like zoom in and right through the girl's eyes and stuff. That's really cool. So I like that.
I guess just like the overall production value of this was really good. The camera work, the lighting, the whole environment was really well done. It was really grungy and grimy. Maybe a little too grungy or too grimy, but it was still really well done.
Alright guys, when we talk about what our favorite kills are in this movie.
My favorite kill was Hannah. She was in the elevator. Kane just kind of grabs her by the throat, smashes her up into the ceiling, and she falls in between the elevator doors, and he pulls her eyes out. And I just thought it was like really realistic.
Mine wasn't a great kill. I liked it because I didn't have too many like high expectations for the film. At the beginning when they go in and he chops off the cop's arm and he just like axes down the first cop, you're just like, okay, this is actually going to be a good slasher flick, right? You see the arm there and it's like moving and like very simple, very clean.
My death, Melissa was being lowered out of the building by Russell. You see it just stop. Jacob just like pulling her up super fast. This is where we see the emotion. We see like the smile, the laughter. He's having fun with it, which is, it adds to the sadisticness. Yeah. And you're thinking Kane is gonna like bring her all the way up. Instead, he just drops her. And like she goes flying down, her like knuckles hit the ground. And you just see like the bones snap out of her arm. And it looked really cool. Even then, she's not dead. And all the dogs came out and ran and hate her.
What didn't we like about this film?
I didn't like the amount of backstory. They had about 5 to 10 minutes worth of backstory that kept switching between like the present day and Jacob's past, and it just like it went back and forth for way too long. They also had all these twitchy shakes and all this different like focusing, and it's just like it got out of hand. It just was really, really irritating. I think they overdid it.
You know what else I didn't like? The character introductions, where they showed the crimes that they committed and to why they're there. It's just, I don't know, it just felt kind of cheesy and kind of out of place.
This is the first time you're seeing all these characters, and you're going through 8 of them. You're not going to remember who the hell these people are, what their names are, and what crime they've committed.
The one thing that made me mad was the fact that they're criminals, but they were not treated like criminals whatsoever. Girls were walking around in heels. People had lighters. Like
they were smoking. Drinking. They were they were shaving each other's legs.
Yeah, they had like
razors.
Lotions and shit. Like,
this isn't what happens.
They built this whole story around the fact that he shot Jacob at the beginning of the movie, and he died just like that. There was no build-up for something where the story was built around these two characters.
Let's give our final thoughts and our ratings.
I love Kane as a wrestler. He made this movie. The story was kind of weak, but it did what it had to do. The deaths were kind of cool. That being said, I'm going to give this movie 2.5 cockroaches awkwardly having sex out of 5.
I thought for like a first outing into the horror genre, I thought it was pretty good for that. I think hopefully the sequel that's coming out can make it better. So I think they have a good solid foundation, but you know, I'm kind of on the fence on it. So I'm going to give this 2.5 women's county jail condoms out of 5.
I was pretty disappointed on my second viewing of this movie. I saw this originally when it came out, and I had remembered up until now that it was a great movie, but it wasn't very good. I wish it just stayed a memory, to be honest, because now I'm less excited for the sequel, even though I know it's the Soska sisters, who are awesome. I do like Kane as a killer. I did think that they had some pretty decent deaths. I didn't like the amount of weird camera tricks they were using, and I really just didn't like the amount of backstory and the end of this movie. Basically, the third act was just kind of a write-off for me. That being said, I'm going to give this movie 1 amputee arm slap to the back of the head out of 5.
Let us know what you think by liking, subscribing, and commenting below. Follow us on Twitter, and send some recommendations our way.